You know what's crazy? Asterisk at 21, I felt like I had cracked the FING code. While most people my age were still Googling how to write a resume or pretending to love university, I was pulling in $7,000 a month consistently. No cap, no fancy degree, no corporate ladder to climb, just pure hustle. And it felt like I was winning the game before most people even learned the rules. Asterisk, and you know what happens when you start making real money that young? Everyone starts looking at you like you've figured life out. You're so lucky. Asterisk, what's your secret? Asterisk, bro, you're living the dream. Yeah, the dream. Let me tell you what no one says out loud. Money F asterisk CKS, with your identity, especially when you get it before you even know who the hell you are. Asterisk, at 21. I was living in this weird loop. Wake up, check Stripe, dopamine hit, fake productivity, scroll, caffeine, chase another high. Repeat. I wasn't building a life. I was stacking receipts. And people clapped for it. Friends, they started to change. Either they asked for tips, asked for loans, or stopped talking to me altogether. Family, half proud, half confused. Like they didn't know whether to celebrate me or be suspicious. And I fed off the attention. I leaned into the narrative, asterisk posted wins, hid the losses. Crafted this highlight reel of a life I wasn't actually living. Asterisk, but behind closed doors, I was tired. Not that I need a nap tired. Asterisk, I'm talking soul fatigue. Asterisk, the kind of exhaustion that follows you into the shower, into bed, into every moment where silence should have been peaceful, but instead it screamed louder than any noise. I couldn't breathe in the stillness, because stillness meant I had to face myself. Asterisk. And I didn't know who the FCK that was. You ever hit a goal so big, so fast, that you didn't even get to enjoy it? Asterisk, because the moment it arrived, your brain just whispered, okay, now what? Asterisk, and that now what turned into, what's the point? But I kept going. Because when your identity becomes the guy who made it, stopping feels like dying. I couldn't afford to look lost. I couldn't afford to slow down. Asterisk, I couldn't afford to feel. So I numbed it. More work, more caffeine, more wins. I didn't care about more fake smiles. I built a life that looked like freedom, but felt like a cage. A golden FCKing cage. With a view and receipts to prove it. Asterisk, and here's the part that no one tells you. Asterisk, success can be just as isolating as failure, sometimes even worse, because when you fail, people reach out. Asterisk, but when you succeed, they assume you're good. They think your money is a shield. Asterisk, they think the smile in your story is real. No one checks on the guy who's winning. Asterisk, no one asks, hey, are you actually okay? Because you're not allowed to not be okay when you're ahead, so I played the role. Posted the stories, shared the advice, became a walking TED Talk, and quietly fell the FCK apart. Until one night, asterisk, I was sitting in my car, parked, engine off, it was late. Too late. Asterisk, city quiet. Air heavy. Asterisk, and I realized, I didn't want to drive home. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to be. I had everything I thought I wanted, and I had never felt more empty. How the hell did I get here? Asterisk, how do you go from making $7,000 a month to staring at the steering wheel, asking yourself if life's even worth it? That's where this story really begins. Because the money wasn't the problem. Asterisk, it was the lie I built around it. Asterisk, and now, I had to start tearing it down. But first, I had to survive the fall. People always think there's some dramatic turning point. Asterisk, like some big betrayal, some business collapse, a breakup, a death. Asterisk, something they can point at and say, that's why he broke. But my spiral wasn't cinematic. It was quiet. Stupidly normal. Like a slow leak in a tire. Until one day you're stranded. And you don't even know when the air slipped out. It was tiny things. Waking up later and later. Even though I had no boss. Avoiding texts. Not showering for 2 days. Eating, standing up. Scrolling TikTok until my eyes burned. Asterisk, canceling plans. Not because I was busy, but because the idea of seeing people made me feel fake. Asterisk, I didn't even recognize myself. Asterisk, I had followers. Clients, a bank account that looked great on paper, and I couldn't get out of FCKing bed. Asterisk, not because I was lazy, but because nothing felt worth the effort. And that's the part no one gets unless they've been there. It's not sadness. It's not anger. Asterisk, it's this hollow Gray fog that eats everything: joy, purpose, hunger, laughter. People would DM me, "Bro, you're killing it. You inspire me." And I'd sit there thinking, if you saw what my room looks like right now, you'd block me. I wasn't living. I was maintaining an illusion. Asterisk, my whole identity was built on, I'm doing better than everyone else. Asterisk, but inside, I felt like a fraud. Worse, a prisoner of the brand I created. And then came the thoughts, asterisk, the quiet, poisonous ones. Asterisk, you peaked too early. Asterisk, no one actually cares about you. Asterisk, you're only valuable if you produce. Asterisk, if you disappeared, who would even notice? I didn't say them out loud. I didn't journal them. Asterisk, I didn't post some cryptic caption begging for help. Asterisk, because that would have meant cracking the mask, admitting the truth, risking the brand. So, I smiled harder, worked less, lied more. I told myself, this is just burnout. Asterisk, I just need a break. Asterisk, I'll feel better after this launch. Asterisk, I'll be fine next month. But it wasn't burnout, it was despair. Dressed up in productivity hacks and caffeine. And here's the sick irony. The more I succeeded, publicly, the more I drowned privately. Asterisk, because now, I had something to lose. Not just money, but identity, reputation. This entire performance I built around being the young entrepreneur who figured it out. Asterisk, what if they found out I was empty? Asterisk, what if they saw I wasn't okay? Asterisk, what if admitting it ruined everything? So I stayed quiet, smiled, posted, sank, and then came the night that cracked me. Same car, same silence. Asterisk, only this time, I wasn't just numb. I was scared, not of dying, but of not dying, of staying stuck like this. Asterisk, of waking up every day to pretend I had purpose, when all I had was a feed full of filters and followers who didn't know me. Asterisk, I stared at the steering wheel and thought, asterisk, this is it. This is the part where people write, he seems so happy. Asterisk, but then, something small happened. My phone lit up. A message. From someone I hadn't talked to in months. It just said, "Hey, I was thinking about you. You good?" 6 words. That was it. But something about it cracked the concrete. Made the fog tremble. Asterisk, because, for the first time in weeks, I felt something. I didn't even respond right away. Just stared at that message like it was some kind of lifeline. Asterisk, because it was. Asterisk, that was the moment I realized I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to live like this. Asterisk, that's a massive FCKing difference. I wasn't broken. I was buried. Under expectations, under pressure. Under this mask, I was too scared to take off. Asterisk, and that night, asterisk, I made a decision. Not some dramatic, Hollywood montage kind of decision. Just a quiet one. Asterisk, I'm done lying. I didn't know what healing looked like. I didn't have a therapist yet. Asterisk, I didn't have a 10-step recovery plan. But I had one truth. I'm not okay. And I want to be. And for the first time in a long time, that felt like enough. The hardest part wasn't surviving the breakdown, it was facing the aftermath. Asterisk, because once you admit, I'm not okay, the illusion starts to shatter, and you realize how much of your life was built around hiding that. Asterisk, and the scariest question hits you. Asterisk, if I'm not the successful one, who the hell am I? Asterisk, I had to unlearn everything I thought made me valuable. Not just the money, the performance, the constant proving, the way I used winning as a shield to avoid being seen. Asterisk, turns out I wasn't addicted to success. Asterisk, I was addicted to not feeling worthless. So I did something wild. I disappeared. Asterisk, logged off. Shut down the business for a bit. Told clients I was taking time. Didn't explain. Didn't justify. Just went silent. Asterisk, you'd think that would have felt freeing, right? It didn't. At first, it felt like death. Asterisk, because silence doesn't just bring peace, it brings every FCKing thought you've been dodging. I cried in the shower, sat on my floor staring at a wall, looked at myself in the mirror like I was meeting a stranger. Asterisk, but slowly, quietly, I started hearing a voice I hadn't heard in a long time. Mine, not the curated one, not the brand, not the voice optimized for engagement, the real one. And that voice didn't say much. It just whispered, let's figure this out together. I started small. Journaling, even if it was messy. Asterisk, not for content, not for quotes. Just to bleed honestly on the page. Asterisk, I called a therapist. Took 3 tries to find one I vibed with. First 2 felt like robots. Third one asked me, "What do you need today?" And I broke down like a dam. Stopped chasing income goals and started chasing integrity. Asterisk like, am I actually saying what I believe? Asterisk, am I actually resting, or just pretending to? I lost followers. People stopped reaching out. I posted less, didn't care. Asterisk, because for the first time since I was 21, I didn't feel like a product. I felt like a person. Asterisk, and you know what's funny? Healing wasn't this perfect upward slope. It was chaos. Asterisk, some days I woke up ready to build again. Asterisk, other days I wanted to burn it all. Asterisk, some mornings I meditated, others I ate chips at 10 a.m. and felt like trash. But I kept showing up. Not to perform, to practice being human again. Asterisk, and slowly, life stopped feeling like something I needed to earn. I reconnected with old friends. Started moving my body not to optimize it, but because I missed feeling alive. I said, I don't know more often. I learned to sit in a room and not reach for my phone every 10 seconds. Asterisk, most importantly. Asterisk, I learned that being okay isn't a destination. It's a rhythm. Some days I still crash. Some nights the thoughts still whisper. But now, I don't fight them alone. I built real connections, not followers, friends. Asterisk, people who see me, not my highlights. I make less money now, but every dollar feels like it comes from truth. Asterisk, and I know this might not be the viral redemption arc people expect. There's no TED Talk, no Lamborghini, no perfect morning routine. Just me, asterisk, still breathing, still rebuilding, still unlearning the lie that I have to earn my worth. Asterisk, so if you're watching this, thinking FC, that's me, then hear this. You're not broken, you're buried, and maybe it's time to dig yourself out, not by climbing higher, but by going deeper. Let the mask crack. Let the silence speak. Let the healing be ugly. Asterisk, it might just save your life. If this story hit you, good, that means you're alive. Now do something with it. Asterisk, subscribe, not for me, for you. Because if this video felt real, imagine what's coming next. Or stay stuck in the scroll. Your move.